add the actual visuals, of how your product is looked in a festival food store versus in a mom and pop store versus, so add different views versus in a cooler in a secondary display. So what I did was every time, some amazing distributor did amazing job at merchandising, and when I did the market work, you start taking pictures and update your deck.
Yeah, my name is Arthur. I started Zaguska Vodka in May of last year. It's an unfiltered vodka brand in Brooklyn, New York, and have been selling it sort of door to door for the last 8 or 9 months, and very recently started to bring on some salespeople, and looking to approach some distributors in the next 3 to 4 months, probably. So this question I had is I want to put together, a deck, a PowerPoint presentation or something for distributors when I'm approaching, when they inevitably ask me for a deck. Yeah, I just wanted to get a sense of, how many
Sure.
slides should there be? What information should I cover? I feel like it can easily sort of balloon to be a humongous thing that I feel like is probably unnecessary. So
Understood. Nice to chat again, Arthur.
yeah, absolutely.
Great stuff.
Thank you for doing
So
this.
this is again a very good question. I would suggest have that big deck made anyway, just for internal use, and then you can use it in many different ways, right? It will be helpful. Once and all, make that big deck, and I'll explain what that includes, and then I can go into a small piece of it as well. So the big deck should include, let's say, the profit story. So it should include, why a retailer, literally this question, why a retailer should stock your product, why a distributor should have your product, right? So you do a portfolio analysis depending on that, and then you create that context that, okay, I see that you have in your case, let's say you have a $10 vodka, but you don't have a premium vodka, a high margin vodka and so on. So you could add that. You have to add why it's convenient to do business with me. So, you have to show them that you are going to take care of logistics. You already stock at the place where they already store their other suppliers, let's say Western carriers. So you go to, I'm just giving an example, but you got to show them that it's convenient to do business with them. You're going to ship them point of sale. You're going to come in the market. They want to know that you are reachable 24 hours. You will not run out of stock. Those kind of stuff. So just literally add why it's convenient. Why I offer convenience, pretty much. Minimum order quantity, be very flexible, write it 56, mix and match, whatever you want to mix and match, those kind of thing, right? Logistics, so pallet configuration, the technical, case sizes, case specs, the 6-pack, weight of a pallet, weight of a case, because they will calculate the trucking logistics cost and those kind of things. This slide and this presentation will be sent to you guys. So the video will also be there. So don't worry. Sample policy. So usually, it's 5 to 10%, and this is the best thing because you're giving in goods. So I would just say don't be stingy here. Like a lot of brands, literally like 2 bottles and 1 bottle. Like you're talking to a trade person. They have no limits, of this. So literally just say, our standard policy is 10%. But in the first year, I do understand my goal is to open new accounts. Let's go whatever it takes. But then you ask the report. What I did was ask them the sample depletion report. So how it's being used. So you make them accountable, but sort of, give them sort of unlimited sample policy. Marketing policy, again, pickup location, pallet configuration, in-market sales rep and support. How many times you're going to come in the market. Flat dollar per case support, no questions asked. $5 a case, you spend however way you want, Mr. Distributor, right? Access to chains, how we will help you get some regional chains and national chains. This is the longest and the best carrot that you can give if you can afford. Like if you can afford and if you have connections and if you can actually get them Total Wines in the Bevmos and the regional chains, this is a long play. So let's say you have this 1 year, you give them even 1 account every year or 2 accounts, that's a big contribution to your partnership. right? So if you can do at that point of sale, show them the visuals, show them how your actual shelf stockers look, not the design view that your designer created, an actual printout, an actual merchandise, an actual photo of a store. So add that stuff. Do not add your graphics. Add the actual visuals, of how your product is looked in a festival food store versus in a mom and pop store versus. So add different views versus in a cooler in a secondary display. So what I did was every time, some amazing distributor did amazing job at merchandising, and when I did the market work, you start taking pictures and update your deck. Then how are you going to help them sell? Like why adding your brand matters and so on, right? So you show them this kind of things. But I'll be happy to add, when we send you the video and the comments, we'll add some more context to it and some other slide where actually I have a real deck as well as an example, so I can send that as well. But overall, 70% should be you talking about their business, okay, not your business. You talking about the distribution business, and going to the previous thing about how you're going to make their life easy, previous slide. So you talking about that. 30% or a couple of slides would be, about you, about why you started, about why you're passionate about this, and so on. Again, they will really bet on the jockey more than the horse. And this thing is not spoken, but I know that when my top supplier came in the market, I was so happy because I know the guy is going to sell 300 cases in 5 days, and we just liked him for that. Forget about he told me to add this to his our portfolio. We will add it because we know it will sell. So it is really showing them that Arthur is there to make sure that the brand is going to sell, and that sort of thing you have to sell or put it in the deck.